The last 10 days in particular probably have just have been a whirlwind for where I probably expect it to be at this very moment in time to where I'm sitting now is quite a distance away from each other. But as I said earlier on, that's football. It was well documented what I walked into, well documented what we achieved to be able to keep the club in the league, and I think, as I said earlier, when you do that, you sort of breathe out slightly and go, there's the first part done. You get a chance now to build on it and a chance to I suppose put your own mark on it more than anything else. And for that all to change really, really quickly it's disappointing in one stretch, and it has been a tough couple of weeks. Make no bones about that. But with that, it's also important to look forward. And I'm probably the only bit of luck I've had in the last couple of weeks is the fact that Dundalk wouldn't let Rory Higgins speak to Coleraine Football Club, and I think if it wasn't for that, I'm probably not sitting here. So I think my lucky stars for that, I suppose, that one aspect of it. But apart from that, it has been a testing time, and probably the majority of it non-footballing based, which is highly frustrating because I'm really only in it for the football. So it's nice to, I suppose, get back up on the horse again and get concentrating on the thing I enjoy most, which is the football.
Obviously, Coleraine is a very special club to you, and the opportunity to come back here again, I'm sure that means a lot to you. Yeah,
the timing of it, and I said it out there, I haven't really been in touch with the social media side or whatever else, but some of the conspiracy theories are interesting to say the least, and I'd be bloody Houdini if I could set up half the things that people have conspired or whatever else. But yeah, it is a club, I take great pride. It took 7 years to build us into a force that came within a point of winning a league and that won an Irish Cup, and I take a huge amount of pride in being able to build that. So the decision when you do come home, and the fact that the job, thankfully for me, was still open, it allows me to make that transition. I don't want to mope about for 6 months. I don't want to sit, nor am I a manager who's in a position to be able to take 6 months off and do whatever else. So it is important for me to get right back out there. Scotland hurt, but it was also a brilliant experience, and one that I feel I'm better for in the long run. And with that, I just want to get cracked on now and get back to hopefully doing what I do best, which is football.
And you saw what you mean to the fans out there. You were talking about how it was reminiscent of the Irish Cup final scenes coming home, and that must fill you with a lot of pride and joy to see how well you're regarded here. Yeah,
there's only 2 times I've ever been here when there hasn't been a football match on, when the stand has had people in it, and the first night was the night you'll remember of the Irish Cup, which will live with me for a long, long time. And that's the second, and it's humbling to see what it means to people, and the fact that they'll come out tonight to support from that point of view. And we're going to need them in abundance this season to try and get back to the heights that we've reached before.
Colin, how pleased are you to bring a manager of Oran's calibre back to the club?
Totally unexpected would be the answer to that there, because this wasn't a planned appointment. We had planned away from Oran returning here because obviously he had embarked on a full-time career in Scotland and had, as far as I was concerned, and I think everybody that had worked with him at this football club, he had performed minor miracles in keeping St Mirren in the league when he took over till where he ended up, and we fully expected Oran to go on and take what he'd done with Coleraine over the last 7 years prior to that, and gradually take them up the league. We're extremely happy and to get Oran back here in relation to taking over the club in general, and I don't mean that in any small term, because he has before he left here he had a finger in every pie, so to speak, within every area of the football club, and it takes a lot of pressure off the likes of myself, and he deals with a lot of all the contracts and player recruitment and so forth. But obviously there's a bit of work now to do to get things up and running again, so straight back at it and straight back into it again.
Do you believe it'll be tougher challenge next season when you see where the league has gone, even in the 10 months that you've been away? So
yeah, football doesn't stop, and it keeps motoring, and as I say, the league that I left, the league that I right back into, there's lots of clubs getting their house into order, if you like, in relation to their agendas moving forward and how they see it panning out. So it's important that we don't stand still. It's important that we're not left behind as such. And with that, I think that's why it's so important to get back out on the training pitch and get working.
And obviously player recruitment, it's key now. The summer times always when people do most of their business. I'm sure that's something to be aware of now. Oran is trying to maybe strengthen the squad and look at it.
Yeah, it is, and of course, assessments have to be made, and I think that's again another reason for trying to for having to or for jumping early in relation to making sure that you're in. There's no point in sitting another month feeling sorry for yourself and arriving in the first week of the season or whatever else, and there's not much time left. So, Irish League is renowned for not being a huge amount of movement for teams, for players. Maybe not like a lot of other leagues, maybe on 1 year contracts. You have a lot of players here on 2-3 year contracts. So it's finding a couple of diamonds that we want, and hopefully, we can bring them in that will ideally help us to move back to the direction we want to go.
And being reported about Jamie McGonigal's situation, is there anything updating that there?
Yeah, I'm aware at this point in time that obviously there's been a bid put in or whatever else, and again, I'll have to get a chat with Jamie tomorrow night and see where that lies.
He's obviously a player you hope to keep at the club if possible.
Absolutely, nobody wants to, strikers in the Irish League are like hen's teeth. So from that point of view, Jamie's, particularly in the few years before that, Jamie was a 20-goal season striker under myself, and with that, it's not somebody that you want to be losing from your squad. But he's a year left in his contract, and Jamie will have a part to play in the decision as well. And I think you also want players at the club who want to be at the club. So, as I say, I haven't had a chance to really touch base with Jamie. I'll get a chat with him tomorrow night, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Just in terms of going away to Suburban, do you think can you bring a lot of experience back with you to Coleraine that you can sort of put around the club?
Yeah, there's lots of things you pick up, and there's also lots of things maybe you wouldn't do as well, if you know what I mean. And I think when you go into a different environment, that you look at that environment, you assess that environment, and there's certain things you would pick and say, yeah, that could possibly improve us, or that would hopefully be better. So it was a brilliant the overall experience was an outstanding experience. It was brilliant, and for me, professionally as a manager, it's one that I thoroughly enjoyed. And yes, of course, there'll be lots of things that you'll look to implement or change, I suppose, to try and kick us forward.